Let's go to more and then go that way. More, you're next.
Thank you, Rudolph. Thank you all. Listening to what the guests have said, and I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed that at this time we're still saying certain things. We shouldn't. Even when we have it in ourselves, we can restrain ourselves. Sometimes we have to chew on words before we say it. This idea of grouping people, the Igbo, by the way, Igbo has no plural with S. Igbo is Igbo. Just like my Yoruba friends use Yoruba. I never heard them use Yorubas. It's Igbo is Igbo. Thank you. So that should stop. Obunweze said it very clearly. We should stop it. Not just for Igbo, for Yoruba, for Hausa. Growing up, one had Hausa Fulani. Now we have split it without knowing. It has become Fulani and Hausa. So we have to educate ourselves every time. Let's try to temper these things cruelly. I can give you a lot of examples of people. What we're saying now about Lagos shouldn't be out there. But people are using it for their political gain. It is understandable. But let's not fan it. If somebody said that Tinubu is from Osun as a political leverage, that's fine. That's a fact. If you say that, what's his name? GRV, his mother is Igbo, his mother, that's okay. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem is when you act on it, when you use it to tag people what they are not, then you are looking for trouble. Again, Remy, I don't know if you remember me, since 20 years ago, we went through some of the things you said. I wrote you personally. I published your work at Kony.com. And I tried to correct you that the invasion did not have anything to do with the Yoruba. Ojukwu was reluctant to do it. Banjo, and so I have and the man died. So Inka said it all there. Don't quote me. Read the man died. He, Banjo, Ifajuna, Abam, they planned it. It was the third force. They planned to take over, kill Ojukwu, kill Gowon, and then restore Nigeria. Ojukwu, Soka did not hide it. When he got to Ore, he called Obasanjo, who was part of the team. That's why they are still fighting today. So Inka and Obasanjo, the problem dates back to the fact that Obasanjo walked out and started working with Gowon, feeding him the information. Banjo was not stopped at Ore. Banjo stopped at Ore because Obasanjo said, you cannot come in with Igbo soldiers in Lagos. We have to prepare the ground. No, they were forming the second division. So Biafran soldiers went to Genebode, to Auchi, to all over the place because they didn't want to leave Ore. If they had left Ore, they would run over Lagos in the next few days. Like I wrote in my book, that was when Biafra lost the war. That stretched them thin. They didn't have much. And they used what they have to invade, to give Banjo. Ojukwu wrote a letter. It was documented to Banjo, who is his best friend, by the way. Remember, he was locked up in Enugu for trying to kill Ironsi. That's why he ended up in Enugu. So we know this history. Please stop giving the idea that the
That is not the narrative given by General Pajowa. General Pajowa's narrative, who actually he was the one who led the war.
I'm not telling. Let me finish. Let me finish. Pajowa did not lead anything. Let me tell you the story.
If you read General
Mutala that did the pushback, it was Banjo that led the force. So Inka's book is there. I have it here. And the man died. Let me leave it to you. Okay, look at it. It's here.
I have a copy and I've read it.
Read it. And Banjo of Soinka will tell you he was in Enugu to recruit what's the poet's name? Pius Okibo, who was his friend, who said, my head is not, I'm not doing it. And then the kid, Nzog was supposed to lead it, they killed him. Okay? So Banjo, it was never anything planned to take over Yoruba land. I understand somebody from Benin, from Midwest, arguing this issue because they were taken over and made into a Republic of Benin and Major Koko took over. Yes, I understand the Midwest. That Western campaign was a mistake from my own perspective. but then hindsight is 2020. So I understand what you are saying. Let us not say that again. You see, when you group people that way,
is better left alone. Ogamo,
exactly, just leave it alone.
That thing you're saying is written in Ojukwu said. Ojukwu said they will take over Lagos. Yoruba will come and negotiate with him. I have
no way. That is please. Ayo, you are a lawyer. You have said so many things here that is absolute false. Okay, please let's leave it at that.
Mr. Mo,
it's not true.
Remember, I think Rudolph remember.
He said Yoruba we have to negotiate their freedom from him.
Ayo, hold on.
There was nowhere. Let me finish that. My turn. Okay. When I finish, I'll leave you guys alone. When I finish, please, Remy, please stop.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go
what you are saying is absolutely false.
It's not false. That's the truth.
What exactly?
Will you please stop? There was
what is false? What is
invasion of Western region is false. West was not invaded.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that already. I didn't know that already. It's in Imo State.
Oh, sure. You see, that's why I can't agree with you.
You say that the invasion of the West is not possible. Number one, you are here. You just said
I live in Lagos. I tell you, Osho was attacked by Ojukwu's bomb.
Rudolph, could you stop these guys, please? Let me talk. Just mute them. Just mute them. I can't chase after every mad dog. I can't get where I'm going.
You are peddling falsehood.
Okay,
hold on. Stop them.
Stop them
for a while.
Hold on, everyone.
I'll just now tell you stories that I know.
Let's
okay, so if I want to, I walk away from it. You said they bombed Ikeja. Yes, Johnny bombed Ikeja. So bloody what? It was a war. So you want to? I don't know why you keep saying it. As if
Ayo, hold on.
As if the bombing of
the civil war issue will bring a lot.
Hold on, then let me educate you. Just wait. Just cool down. Okay? Fact is fact. If they bombed the Ikeja, and it's true. They killed people in Asaba. The first victim was Babangida's father-in-law. It's a fact. They bombed churches. Egyptian air pilots with Russian illusion fighters bombed marketplaces, refugee camps. It's a fact. So stop saying this idea like even people met at night and say, oh, let's go and bomb the Ikeja this morning. It didn't happen. It was a wartime. So leave it alone. Cure yourself of this hate that you peddle around. We talked about this 20 years ago. I don't know why you still carrying it along and hurting yourself. Let me move on from that. Just about that. Read Wole Soyinka. He will tell you about the third force. Okay? He'll tell the truth. Now, this is the clearest form of exhibition of irredentism I've ever seen. You cannot talk about Lagos in this way. We know why Lagos is there. We know what it represents. Let's not fight it. Like Rudolph said, in 200 years, if we come back again, we will not even recognize Lagos. It will be so changed. The level of intermarriage going on is so high, you wouldn't even believe it. If you look at Davido was born a U.S. citizen, born in USA. His grandmother is Igbo. His mother is Edo. He's 1 quarter Igbo, 1 quarter Yoruba. His wife is Igbo. When he has a child, that child is still going to be Yoruba, right? We know these things. So why are we killing ourselves? What we're going to find out is, let's find out how we can make this thing work. First is this, the rule of law. If we have the rule of law, Dr. Moe said it right. When we have the rule of law applying to everybody, there will be peace. When you get up from your house and go to Born and Labor Market, you go to jail. And somebody will not do it again. That's what it takes. Rule of law. Another one is this. Lagos is not the best of places. When I came back to Nigeria, I was serving in Lagos. I said, no, send me anywhere but Lagos. They sent me to River State. I didn't like it. I went to Kaduna. I served in Jaji and I enjoyed it. The best years I have of my life. I enjoyed it. Nigeria is a great place. Nigerians are great people. Nigerians don't. The Igbo and Yoruba do not have a problem. They never. My best friend in high school, he's a Yoruba man. Go to Enugu, you see a senator, Yoruba woman running for the Senate under one of these small parties. It's not a problem. The first mayor of Enugu, an Hausa man. What are we talking about? Lagos, Mbono Jike won from there, Zik won from there. Who made Zik? How about Macaulay, a Yoruba man? We don't talk about good things about ourselves. Victor Laye, what is Sango Molanke in Igbo? That's what unites us. When I came back, I said, that's to Shina Peters. They don't ask you if it is Yoruba is singing. They love the music. Look at Kiss. The kind of music they sing. Nobody knows what Buga is, unless you tell them it's Yoruba. Okay? Look at everybody coming together. Lagos should be high life. The moment who goes to the market to sell, just want to go there, come back, enjoy life. Yes, if it's loud, so bloody what? If it's the no-noise zone, tell him to shut up. Lock him or give him a fine. So let's not do this to ourselves. It doesn't help. One good thing we have to do, because if that's something Ojukwu said, he said we have to stay slightly apart so we don't get burnt by the friction of our togetherness. Lagos is becoming too oppressive. Transport, everything. What we can do in Nigeria, no, we will test power, apart from rule of law, is to decentralize the airport system. Let's look at, you land with Ethiopia in Lome. You have to land in Lagos before going to Enugu. We are in ECOWAS. Why don't you fly from Lome straight to Enugu? It's about an hour. You have to land in Lagos, a few minutes, then take off again. Let's have a seaport open. Port Harcourt, Calabar, Warri. So people can import stuff and export stuff. Why don't you have a rail line between Ibadan and the Ogoja across Enugu Onitsha? These are things we should be talking about. It will bring love, peace. It will bring prosperity. It will expand. In the next 100 years, all of us here won't be here, definitely. We won't be here. New people will come. We don't even know who they are. When the Benin came to Lagos, which they call Eko, on their way to Accra, to Akan, Ghana, they call it a camp. Their worries, the Jebus, the other people have been coming and going. So please, guys, guys, let us find it in ourselves to look for those things who unite us. They said, Zig said, let's forget about this. And Tadona said, let's, I'm saying, let us embrace and use our diversity. Let it strengthen us. Let us find a way to use it. Let's not take time to open up old wounds, to open up things that we didn't even understand. We can study history, but not here. Here is what do we do to prevent Lagos from being what we don't want. Please, guys, if there is anything you will accept from me today, please stop saying Igbo people. Igbo people do not meet. The Igbos have never had a leader in my life, and I'm old enough. We never have a leader. Azikiwe was not a leader. He was made by a Yoruba man. Zik was Ojukwu was more Yoruba person than Igbo. Ojukwu didn't even speak Igbo when he was made a governor. The pure Eko boy. Then he was born in Zungeru. So please, let's understand our Nzogu. Kaduna Nzogu doesn't even speak Igbo. He spoke their dialect because that's what speak at home. People who know him never lived in the south. His name is even Kaduna. So please, we can do this. We can leave the next generation something to remember us by.
I'm sorry, I'm going to leave very soon. If you are not timing,
yeah, I'm leaving too. You have the day.
You said I'm ignorant. I consider the get already. We are loonies. That Rudolph will mute us. It's all here. You are talking like
I'm not
critical. And that is the problem. You wrote all this kind of nonsense here. You call me a loony. You say we are loonies. You just got to move on. You say we are ignorant. You use some plastic words. And you're not talking here like you are being reconciliated. It is people like you that is causing problem between us. People like
Thank you.
You are lying.
Then take people like me away. I'm telling you the truth. The truth you want to hear.
He's a loony. Rudolph, please stop him. Rudolph, he's blocking. Why are you saying that? And you are an elderly person. I don't want to sit there and listen to this nonsense. I want to listen to those who are
at the time you were behaving like a lunatic.
You are an elderly person. You said you are holding up. You are not behaving like you are holding up. How can you use so much abusive words? You put it down here in writing. I've captured everything, and you are now talking like you want to preach peace. You are being hypocritical. You will leave this forum now and go and say there's one Remy and Nayo that are abusing Igbo people. That is what people like you do. That's a shame.
All right. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, everybody. Let's go to Ngozika. Ngozika.
Good evening, Doc. Good evening, everyone in the studio.